What's going on, YouTube? Back on another video. Well, I guess you most likely kicked the video and seen that, most likely next week I'll be out of a job, and it's funny that my last video was me basically talking about wanting to go back to flatbed and quitting and doing the owner-operator thing after I was, done and settled with everything that I need to do here, if I could transition over comfortably. In previous videos, I was talking about my, I'll be here 3 years in February, doing my little 2-week vacation, blase. Got up at like 2 a.m. in the morning yesterday, did my little pre-trip, post-trip, whatever. If you seen from my shorts, seen that my pump was out, did all that calling. It's funny, because earlier that day I had called the head safety guy. So, you know how you replay things back in your mind, and you think it's funny, thinking that, like, was this a sign? Did you already know, And so I called the head safety guy. He wasn't even at work, so, but I feel like nobody really knew, most likely. And I don't know how long, I'm gonna have to go back through my my documents and see how long negotiations been going on. But I guess as you can see, it's not going well. It didn't go well, so my company is shutting down, whatever. This morning I got a call from dispatch. Well, this guy can't drive. Well, this morning I got a call from I had to talk to dispatch, and they let me know it might be next week, or it might be the week after that, or a week after that. So they don't know how long it's gonna take for it to completely go through, for the shutdown to happen. So it could be Friday, and it could be after Friday. So and seeing as well, like I said, I'm gonna put up the little notice. So I'm gonna circle, they violated the not letting it be known 6 days and blase. And supposedly I'm a top tier driver, so dispatch, asked to give my name to the parent company, whatever. Most likely I'm not gonna take I'll keep the window down, that's hot. Most likely I'm not gonna take it because it's gonna be kind of hard for me not to compare apples to oranges or whatever. Basically, I'm at the same company, just under a different name, but it's everything gonna be different. The pay gonna be different. I gotta ask a whole bunch of questions, like, is my seniority gonna transfer over? My vacation time, am I gonna get severance? Well, most likely the parent company not gonna know, so I'm gonna have to find that all out. So I'm gonna have to process all that information before I bust a move. So but like I said, most likely I'm gonna go back to flatbed, because as you see, I'm sweating. So it's like, man, it's time to I haven't really been too lazy, but I feel like doing this tanking made me a little soft. So it's time for me to go back to doing that. I got a plan how I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it for the same amount of money. So I ain't gonna say too much. So I want to be able to make some more videos, but yeah. And it's like I said, it's funny. It's missed up for the it's missed up for the drivers, and it's not missed up for drivers. The ones that's like me, that's OTR, it'll be an easy transition. Just to either stay or change companies. But for guys that's got on dedicated routes and local routes, most likely transferring over to the parent company, it's gonna be it's gonna be some emotion there probably, you know what I'm saying, a break of schedule. You know, I had talked to a guy in Kansas maybe last year. You know, he had needed to be home every day because he had a sick wife. So I was thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? That goes that empathy again. You know what I'm saying? That person probably don't even remember me, not even thinking about me, but I'm thinking about, you know what I'm saying, you know, talking to drivers and hearing what they're going through and, you know what I'm saying, how they gotta go through things, whatever, or why they had to come over here and all that, you know. Got million-mile drivers over here, you know, especially for them. They've been, you know, it takes a long time to get that 1,000,000 miles, you know. So, especially safely. So, are they going to still keep their 1,000,000-mile status and all that? So that's a lot, you know. I remember a guy that, matter of fact, a guy, it's funny, a guy in Missouri, I had took a dedicated load. I had talked to him, you know, he was on his home time, so I had to take a load for him. That was like sometime early last year, maybe. Yeah, I think it may have been early last year, maybe my first year. But he had came from Yellow. You know what I'm saying? I was doing YouTube. I should, you know, I'm not gonna reveal people, whatever, and like, you know, people I talk to. I'm not gonna do all that, but. You know what I'm saying, whether you believe me or not, but I had talked to a guy that came from Yellow, and it's crazy. You know, now he going through that again, if he's still here. You know what I'm saying? You know, never know. They could have dissolved that dedicate. They could have lost that account, anything. So, ain't no tell if he's still here or not. But being a dedicated account and making some decent money, there wouldn't be no reason for him to leave. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to basically be home every other day, if I'm not mistaken, and that was some good miles. So he was getting good miles there and good miles back. So he was able to get a bonus. He was able to get a bonus, not just a regular check, just doing a dedicated run back and forth. So I wouldn't see no reason for him to leave. So, but it's crazy going through that with Yellow and then now going through that again. But so I was also thinking about that. But I'm not going to draw this video out too far. So now I'm going to have to edit the video if I can, you know, the thumbnail and all that. But if you made it this far, which I doubt you have, please consider like, comment, subscribing. I need the help, man. I'm losing my job. So now, like I said, with me leaving this, you know what I'm saying, I didn't want to be recording hazmat and all this other stuff. Now I'll be able to be fresh, because I'll be able to be showing me doing flatbed loads and step deck loads and all that. Even though that's people already doing that, it's me doing it, you know what I'm saying? So this is basically my journey, you know what I'm saying, back into flatbed and flatbed, step deck. I'm trying to do step deck into, you know, doing oversized, and I'm trying to move up to RGN. That's something I haven't did, is RGN. So I want to transition to that. And I'll just probably stop at RGN, like, you know, I like I said, I ain't trying to stay in this forever, you know, next 10 years, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to be out of this, you know what I'm saying, paid off house and all that. So I'm gonna reach these goals, and I know I am. Yeah, so yeah, just follow the journey. I hope you do, you know what I'm saying. I don't do no faking or fraud, and so that makes me not as entertaining, but you know, it is what it is, you know. So yeah, if you made it this far, which I doubt you have, please consider like, comment, subscribing. This bit came out, but it's all good. Peace.